So let's jump right in. Let's talk about relationships first here. Good, solid, loving, trusting relationships where you can say, trust me, I'm going to help you, and this may sound weird, and they listen and actually trust you.
Yeah.
That is where you're getting at. Like you can say, try this new food, it looks green, but it tastes amazing, and if they don't trust you, they're going to just be like, I don't believe you. But if they have a foundation of trust, they're going to be like, okay.
Yeah.
Turns out that it's actually not bad, then cool. So, you want to build relationships through 4 areas of interaction. If you're building a trusting relationship, it needs to be frequent, personal, positive, and low risk. Can't have 3 of those, doesn't work.
Yeah.
So frequent meaning it needs to be on a continual basis.
Yes.
You can't just do this thing once. Personal meaning it needs to be one-on-one time.
Yeah.
Positive interaction. Low risk meaning that you can't have anything that is threatening. This does not mean let's go and talk about your day and tell you all the things you did wrong.
Yeah.
It's let's spend time doing an activity together. My father
engaging together.
Yeah, my father played Pokemon with me, or did things that I wanted to do with me and engage with me solely for the experience of building a relationship. Not because he wanted to manipulate, not because he wanted to get me to do something. Not for any of those reasons.
My mom would read with me every night. We'd read Harry Potter. We blazed through the whole series. And that was just really valuable time that I looked forward to. And it led to a more trusting relationship with her.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a nightly ritual that I just adored. And she adored it too. Because there was no ulterior, that's a hard word, ulterior motive. There was no, underlying cause for it. It was just a mother spending time with her child who loves Harry Potter.
Yes.
So.
And that does not mean, you need to play video games with them. That's one option.
Yeah.
But that just means that you spend time that is frequent, personal, positive, and low risk.
And a bit of advice on the video games that we get a lot of parents saying, but I hate playing video games. Don't think of it as playing video games. Think of it as connecting with your child. You don't have to necessarily enjoy the video game itself. Enjoy being with your child.
Yeah. Do you think my dad liked playing Pokemon?
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest here. No, he didn't.
No. He liked, engaging with Danny.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the point.
That's the point of it. And if you're still having issues with that, then that is some of your stuff that you're going to need to go see a therapist for.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to work on anyone else until you've worked on yourself.
Yeah. Next to impossible.
That's it. We don't need to complicate it. If you are missing one of these, it will not work.
Yeah.
Literally, make a checklist. We've had people that go, well, I'm spending time in the same room as him. It's like, that's not what we mean.
Yeah, a lot of parents we've seen are missing the personal part,
yes,
and they're missing the frequent part. That's the one we've most commonly seen is they'll just passively engage in an activity with them. They'll just be present in the same room while they're off in the corner playing video games, and that's not what we mean.
It needs to be personal, one-on-one time.
Yeah.
If you're missing any of these...
Yeah.
It will not work.
Yeah.
It's like baking a cake and saying, but I only forgot the eggs.
The cake's going to taste like crap.
Yeah. Or I only forgot the flour. It's like, or I only forgot the sugar. You need all of the 4 ingredients.
You're basically saying I forgot the cake.
Yeah.
So.
It's not a cake anymore. That's not what you're trying to bake anymore. So common mistakes. Manipulation is the biggest one. If at any point you have been thinking, how do I get my child to do this? How do I get them to change this behavior? How do I eradicate this behavior? How do I, extinguish, force, anything that is a controlling language? That is the number one way we can tell if people are in the manipulation mindset. Because
absolutely. We look at emails all the time, and within 3 seconds we can tell if the parent's trying to manipulate or not. Purely based on this language that he's talking about.
It's, how do I get my kid to do this? It's like saying, Hayden, how do I get you to stop complaining?
Right, that doesn't feel very good.
And it implies so much that I don't trust him, and he annoys me, and I don't want to spend time with him, and that's basically saying, I do not want a relationship with you, you're just annoying and I have to tolerate you.
Yeah, it makes me feel really icky, and it's, even him just imitating that. It's just like there's just really negative energy there.
It does not work. So that you don't need to change your language. What you need to do is reevaluate your relationship and what you truly want to get out of it. Do you want to have someone that is completely passive and will do everything you say, or do you want a kid that is going to be, honest and open and have an actual relationship with them? They might not do everything you like, but tough. They're a person.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's ever going to be 100% amazing all the time. That's not how relationships work.
Yeah.
But, quick story, I had a parent, after I was talking about my mom at one of our seminars, I had a parent email me and say, I wish that my son, when he moves out of the house, would talk about me the way you talk about your mother. And that's kind of what and because I look upon my mother with nothing but love, respect, and gratitude. And that's kind of what we're getting towards. I mean, is that how you want your child to respond to you when they're up and gone? Do you still want to have a relationship with them?
Do you want to have a relationship with them now? I mean, it's like, do you want to be the person that's going through homework hell every night, trying to get them to do their homework and get them to do their chores and always fighting? Or do you want to have someone that, they know they may not have the ability to do their homework, but they still do it because they know that it's the right thing and they don't disappoint you. That's
what I was getting at is how you act towards them now matters later. That's what I was kind of getting at.
Exactly. And if you don't have the energy to, then sorry, figure it out. Go have a U day, learn meditation, go to a spa,
get your diet.
Get the energy. Do what you need to do. It's like people saying, I don't have time for that. Well, you'll find the time for things that matter to you.
Yep. And that's kind of the point I was trying to make is you start building that foundation now so that later they'll come back to you and they won't think of you as a threat. They won't think of you as someone who antagonizes them. They'll think of you as a loving, pillar of support in their life.
Yeah, someone that they can go and say, Mom, I screwed up. I went drunk driving and I crashed the car. And you are not going to go, you're grounded for 5 months, end of story. You're going to go, okay, let's talk about how we can fix this. And, oh, by the way, you're grounded for 5 months. But there's a difference there.
Yeah, you can be upset without putting them down.
Yeah, there are ways to do this and support them. I mean, another one of the big things is not being persistent.
Yeah.
It's, I did this once and it didn't work. Yes, this is going to take time. Yes, get used to it. That sometimes they might not return compassion for you for a few years. I'm sorry, that's the way it is. They're so deep in their stuff that they are thinking about other people is just not the way it is.
Exactly.
And a lot of parents go, what about me? It's not about you at this point. Sorry.
And a lot of parents, they're expecting instant results to something that has been slowly building and festering for years, sometimes decades. So give it some time. Be patient with it and trust in yourself and trust in your child that they're going to be okay when you have the right tools. So when you keep trying.
So some timelines here to look at is as soon as you completely are not in the I want to manipulate them and I actually begin to trust them state, it will take about 2 to 3 weeks for them to demonstrate that they trust you, and then they'll start talking to you.
That obviously varies.
The thing is why it won't take 2 to 3 weeks from the point that you are right now is because it's going to take some time to learn how to actually trust and have a relationship with them.
There's going to be some trial and error, but take note and don't get too discouraged because it's normal. It's a learning process.
Yes. Also, not listening is a huge one I found that is a great way to show that you don't trust them.
Yeah.
Because, I've had parents come to us and go, oh, my kid says he wants to see a therapist. What should we do? Take him to see a therapist. But we've taken him and seen a therapist and that's not what he needs. And I go, I'm inclined to agree with you, but it's not about the effect of the therapist. It's about the you listened to what he had to say and was willing to allow him to do what he needed to do.
Well, and also, who are you to say that he doesn't need a therapist? What if there's something that he's not telling you that he needs to talk to a professional about?
Yeah, it's all this my kid says he wants to play kickball. Should I let him play kickball? Yes, you should let him play kickball.
Yeah, if he doesn't like it, he will tell you.
Yes, honestly, my mom was great, but that was one of the things I wish she could have improved on was I want to do this. Well, no, you might get scared of that, and you might be overwhelmed, and blah, 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 blah. And it's just let me do it, and if I get overwhelmed, I will tell you.
Danny is very outspoken. He's very blunt. If he doesn't like something, if something doesn't work for him, he will be the first to tell you.
Yes.
Immediately.
Let me put it this way. Since when do people with Asperger's willingly do things they don't like?
Yeah. I don't need to say anything else.
So
it's perfect.
It's a matter of listening to them.
Yeah.
Because here's what I tell the parents. There will be the test. The test is something that you will never see coming, that you will generally only get one chance at, and if you fail it, then this is the moment of they're starting to finally trust you and they're going to say, Mom, I need to talk, or Dad, I need to talk. And if you go, okay, we'll talk later, or I need a minute, that's easier.
You don't have to worry about the test if you've been honest with them and with yourself, and if you've been honestly trying, and if you've been genuine.
Yes.
You don't have to worry about it if you've been doing this correctly.
But if the test comes and you go, and you don't really listen to them, what that just showed them was I was willing to trust my parents for a second, and they obviously are just trying to still manipulate me, and they don't really want to listen to me. So I'm going to just go back into my shell and play video games again.
Yeah, because if you remember, at the back of our heads all the time is this safe for me? Is this safe?
And we are willing to test it.
Yeah, and because it's our safety on the line, our perceived safety. So yeah.
So we're willing to test it, but if I go, hey, I want to talk to you, and they aren't willing to truly like sit down and listen and be like, yes, all attention, like shut your computer, all attention is on you, how can I help you?
Yeah.
Then I just go, they really don't care, and then I'm just going to go back to doing my own thing. And next time my parents would have said I need you to do something, I'd be like, well, screw you.
It makes it a lot more difficult after that point. Again, we're not trying to scare you, and you have nothing to worry about if you've been genuine and you have not been trying to manipulate.
Yes.
Nothing, absolutely nothing.
Because naturally what you're going to do is you're going to go, yeah, of course, I can help you. But if there is that manipulation in there's something that you do not trust genuinely, I found it is something about yourself that you don't trust.
Yep, and here's the thing is, if there's any inkling of doubt or of manipulation, or of anything negative towards us, we will catch it. We're very, very intuitive.
Yes.
And that's just going to be one more thing that we categorize and file away as a threat.
Yeah.
And then it's very hard to get that trust back.